It is time, listeners, for an update in city news. We have our city manager, Jan Baum, in studio today to bring us up to date as we're having a regular meeting this afternoon and maybe bring us up to date on a few high points from the most recent meeting. Jan, welcome back to KELK.
Well, thank you. It's been a while. I haven't been here for like over a month, I think. And
I think you've been traveling.
Yeah, right. I had some classes out of town, and then and then I went on a small trip. And anyway, I've missed you quite a few times, so I'm glad to see you.
Oh, it's great to have you here. And then it's great to have the staff that you have who are willing and eager to fill in and just bring the news of their department to our listeners, too.
Absolutely. They have, we just have an amazing team at the city of Elko, not just the managers, but, all employees. And you're right, everybody's just so willing to step in and give information. And in fact, today at the directors meeting, we talked a little bit about that and how we provide so many services and such professional services, and we need to be better at making sure people are aware of what services are available and how they can get them. So anyway.
Well, we're happy to be part of that, Jan. Jan Baum is our city manager, and we are here on Elko Live every Tuesday is the day we set aside to go over some aspect of city government, and amazingly, we are always able to fill these programs with lots of news and information. So,
yes, thank you. It's a great opportunity for us.
Thank you, Jan. So we are looking over the regular meeting agenda for today to see, and there's some really cool highlights on here. The community may get to meet Trigger. Is that right?
Yes, Trigger is our newest canine to the Elko County, or City of Elko Police Department, and Trigger is with the detective unit, and he has been assigned to Detective Barenka at the Child Advocacy Center.
And it's really in an amazing role. This is a grant from Friends of the Great Basin Children's Advocacy Center, $50,000, the cost associated with what's called the Electronic Storage Detection Canine Program. Mm-hmm. And there are some ongoing donations from Our Rescue, that is the group that trains and handles these specialized canines. But Detective Cassie Barenka and the District Attorney Tyler Ingram will be on hand to talk about this program. I think it's one that all of us are kind of scratching our heads saying, how does that work?
Right. I am eager to see exactly how Trigger does work. I believe that, I don't know if there will be a demonstration tonight at the City Council, but I do know at the first Tuesday the police chief, Chief Ward, that he has this coming Tuesday. I believe it's on the 5th at 5 o'clock at the airport. Chief Ward, every Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month, has a community meeting, and it's an opportunity for members of the public, our residents, if they have questions for the police department or if they would like to learn information about the police department. It's a great opportunity for them to come and ask questions. And this is his third one, and he usually has something lined up as a presentation. And I believe that last first Tuesday, it was, different organizations that can use our help and stuff during the holidays. And so this first Tuesday, he will have Detective Barenka come with Trigger, and they will do some demonstrations of how Trigger does work. And so from what I understand is that Trigger is able to detect electronic devices. And so, for instance, the most simple example that I've been given is if you have a criminal that has something on a phone or something, whether it be child trafficking or human trafficking or, pornography or something, and they throw the phone out the window as they're being chased or whatever, this canine can track down the electronic device.
Okay, that makes complete sense now. Okay.
Yes. So, and I believe they can also track down like a memory chip or some different things like that. they don't necessarily know what's on the chip.
Right. They can't discern.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I believe he can figure out, find the electronic storage device. And so it will be really interesting. I'm excited to see how Trigger works as well. And then he's a little different than other canines that we have. So we have 2 other canines that are in our community. And those canines are assigned to, I think, Officer Dotson and Officer, Pepper. Yeah. So, and they are, they're not necessarily socialized, I should say, whereas this pet will be more of a community emotional support animal as well. And so just a lot different role in the community than the other 2 canines. So it's new to us as well. And it was brought to us by the CAC, the Child Advocacy Center, and Detective Baranka is assigned to the CAC, and so I'm sure that's how all that came together. So the canines in our department are quite expensive. So along with our rescue donating the pet as well as the training, the CSC came forward and gave us our, that's what the City Council is going to ratify today, another $50,000 to cover some of those extra costs that the city will incur because of the canine. And so, which is such a wonderful gift, but that is how much that they are dedicated to this program, which is great. It's a great partnership. And then the county came forward with a vehicle because, of course, you have to have a different kind of vehicle to carry a canine. And so...
and this is a brand new Ford Expedition.
Yes.
Yes, how generous.
And I've learned a lot about canine vehicles, which I didn't know. The police department has been very patient, I guess, with educating us on these vehicles need, additional, features or whatever to keep the pets cool, to keep them warm, to keep, and so that they are comfortable in these vehicles. And so, that was a great opportunity as well. And so it just shows a lot of collaboration between the city, the Child Advocacy Center, which is a 501c3, and the county.
Oh, Jan, that's great. It's wonderful to hear. It's right at the top of the agenda under new business, and the city council, anybody there will have a chance to hopefully to see or maybe even to meet Trigger, who will be, as you said, an emotional support animal as well. Being that the canine will be at the Child Advocacy Center, that makes a lot of sense. That should help a lot in their investigation.
Absolutely, and provide some support.
Yes, much needed support for both the providers, the caregivers, and of course the children and families as well. And that first responders or first Tuesday meeting that Jan Baum was just describing, it's going to be Tuesday, December 2nd, 5 to 7 p.m.
Second, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
5th. Yeah, so
well, there's a lot going on that week. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
It really is pushing us into the holiday season. It's a busy week.
It is a busy week.
So thank you for the correction.
Oh,
December
of course.
2nd.
December
Thank
2nd, first Tuesday, 5 to 7 at the Elko Regional Airport. So you have a chance to. And these have been going very well. This will be the third in the series. So,
Yeah, so please join us if you have any questions for the Elko Police Department or any department head. Not all of them are there, but if you have any questions for the city, please join us and or just come and listen to the information.
Sounds great. Jan Baum is our city manager. We're looking at some agenda items. It's not a super heavy agenda for today's meeting as we're winding up the year for the city of Elko. There will be a couple of considerations. There are some side-by-side hangars at the Elko Regional Airport and looking for some lease renewals there. And people may be curious to know how that works, Jan.
Yeah, so there are hangars at the Elko Regional Airport, and they are usually leased out by the general aviation population or people that use them for general aviation, and so this is both of these are with the same individual, Jeff Dalling, but there are 2 of them, and so it's just a lease renewal. It's we go through these with Jim Foster at the airport quite often.
Yeah, there is a very healthy and involved general aviation community in Elko, and the evidence of that is the recent successful Sky Fair, which they're already planning for next year's event, Jan.
That event was so fun and very well attended. I want to say, what did he say, 2,500 people, 3,500 people? There were quite a few people there, and yes, it was a great event.
Yep, so looking forward to that. And there is an airport advisory board if anybody is interested. These are public meetings, just as the city has Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, Arts and Culture Advisory Boards. Your City Planning Commission is also appointed, serving as volunteers. A lot of community involvement.
We absolutely do encourage that and like the transparency of that.
Yes. So then we're looking at some water and sewer issues, or at least sewer at 7th and Douglas. Not sure if that's supercharging or not. It doesn't, looks like the city is recommending, city staff recommending that the request is upheld because I think that's an older section of town too.
Yes, it is. And actually that section or that property is already being serviced by a sewer line. And so there's really no reason for the developer to have to add that extra cost of putting sewer where there already is sewer. And so there are a few instances around town if somebody builds at the end of a line or like this where there already is a line, then there's no need for the developer to have to take on the cost of extending the sewer when it's not needed. So I believe that you're right. That's it's a pretty easy item.
All right. Then under resolutions and ordinances, Jan, we spent a great deal of time on our last meeting. Thanks so much to Jim Kerr and Dale Johnson, our assistant city manager, and the director of planning, I believe. Is that or public?
Yeah, so Jeff Ford, who's
Jeff Ford.
No, that's okay.
Yes.
He's our building official.
Yes, that's right.
And
thank you,
so
Jeff.
he's been really, charging or leading this effort to update our building code and our fire code. Obviously, Chief Johnston, the fire chief, has led the fire portion of it, but the building code, it just generates a lot of public interest, a lot of questions. And so actually we'll do the public hearing first tonight, which is the city clerk will present the business impact statements for the fire code change, the building code change, and the building code, not the building code, but the building, the update in the fee schedule.
Oh, right.
Excuse me. And so we'll go through that first. And if the city council approves the business impact statements and the responses with no changes to the code, then we will go into the resolutions and ordinances, and we will do the first reading of the building code and the fire code. And Annette has told me verbally, and I think that the business impact statements are attached to the agenda, but there weren't really a lot of concerns voiced. There were concerns from a few people that even maybe didn't really understand the code changes. They thought, oh my gosh, they're going to make me update my current building to all, and that's not really going to happen. This is for new construction, or if you got it out your building and we're going to build as if it was almost new and you had to bring it up to new codes. But anyway, and some people from outside the city also responded. But anyway, there wasn't a lot of response to these business impact statements. And so she will present those first, and then we'll go to the first reading of the ordinances if the city council, if they wish to go that way.
Yeah, in fact, that'll come up at a 5:30 public hearing for tonight's meeting, right? So
yes.
Yeah. So it sounds like the most exciting thing on the agenda. I mean, obviously, a lot of interest, a lot of workshopping, at least a couple years' work went into those building and fire codes, culminating in the adoption of new codes, right? And now and into the new year.
Absolutely. And the way that usually works is if the city council approves the first reading and we go to the second reading, which will be December 9th, and then we will codify the new, if all of that goes according to the city council's approval, then we would codify that and implement the changes January 1st. but with special attention, please know that there is a 6-month implementation timeline. And so if the builders or developers have plans that are really close or whatever, we have a 6-month period that a leeway, I guess, or whatever. And then July 1st would be where you have to use the new codes.
Oh, okay. So sounds like a 6-month grace period.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
really positive. Yeah, yeah. So obviously, anyone with questions about those building codes should reach out to Jeff Ford at the City of Elko, to our fire chief James Johnston and his staff at the fire department if you have questions about the fire code. So
absolutely, and just this week we sat down with a developer and answered all of his questions, and I think that went really well because there's a lot of hearsay out there, or he wasn't really sure of exactly how it was going, and that meeting I felt went very positively. And so if there are questions out there, please do contact Jeff Ford or Dale Johnson, and they'll be happy to go through it with you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jan. Jan Baum is our Elko City Manager. Again, those building and fire codes are coming up for first reading and are on the path to becoming adopted. Again, that's a culmination of a lot of work by city staff and a lot of involvement from the building community. Well, and speaking of it, it looks like there are some, exciting projects, Jan, coming up in the city, and some new construction, things that we'll be able to realize in the new year.
Absolutely. So you're right. We've got a lot of things going on at the city, and excited for any new construction or new businesses coming to town, or I believe even on the Planning Commission next week, the developer up by Bergeron Estates is bringing the next phase, I believe phase 4, to the Planning Commission, which is exciting.
Those are nice homes, and again, the goal is that people will buy those newer properties, developments, and then leave some of the older properties vacant, and then that gives maybe new young families a chance to get started in home ownership.
Absolutely.
So,
that's a great progression, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's how it really should work, so that's great.
So the city is also looking forward to the Snowflake Festival. Jan, I wanted to tell you the Chamber CEO, Billy Crapo, they're so excited that they're going to have those new amenities. The sidewalks are in place. I mean, it looks really beautiful downtown.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I know. I'm so glad it's finished. And those new trees that are on Commercial and Railroad, I know some of the trees aren't in yet. I believe they are on Railroad between 4th and 5th. But next year they'll do Commercial, and they all have plug-ins, and so we'll have lights on them, and I just think it'll look really nice down there. And you're right, that it's great for all these downtown events that the Chamber has now taken over. And, just a nice atmosphere down there.
Yes. Now, there are new calming devices for those pedestrians. Again, the whole goal is to make it pedestrian safe, friendly, inviting. So folks might want to practice just during the daylight, because the Parade of Lights is at night.
Oh, true.
Just turning around those bump outs and knowing that they're there, I think will help a lot. And then soon enough, everybody will get used to having those, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you're right.
so,
they are new, and
yes.
when you're down there in the dark, they'd be difficult to see. So
give it a practice run.
It's all pedestrian friendly for sure.
Yeah. So maybe some adjustments might be made for this year's Parade of Lights, but it's going to be a great time on December 13th. There'll be festivities starting at noon all day downtown Elko in the corridor, Jan, and then culminating with the Parade of Lights. And then some of the businesses, too, are adding some new features and attractions to kind of get an older crowd to maybe stick around, enjoy the bars and restaurants.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I haven't heard all that, so that's wonderful.
You'll have to get a sitter for the night if you want to come back downtown. So let's see, is there anything else on today's meeting agenda? The City Council meets at 4 in regular session. We talked about getting to meet Trigger, the new K-9 that will be deployed for the Children's Advocacy Center, unless anything else jumps out today.
Yeah, I think that's about it. And I do want to mention that we do have one more meeting for the year, and the December 23rd meeting was canceled. We did that, I don't know, about a month ago in the meeting. And so there will only be one meeting in December, and that'll be December 9th. And so I just can't believe we're already winding down the year. It's just crazy. But one of the things a lot of people aren't too excited about the presentation of the audit, but that was slated to be presented on December 9th. But because of the federal government shutdown, that audit will be extended, and it'll be presented in January. So there's a portion of the audit called the single audit, which is an audit of all the federal programs. And some of the federal direction or standards weren't out yet because of the shutdown of the federal government. And so our auditors have asked that we extend that so that they can make sure it's correct and not have to issue two audits. And so anyway, that will be extended, and that'll be done in January. But anyway, so yeah, one meeting left. So
one meeting left in 2025 before the new year's upon us. And thanks to Julie Davis, really, for all the hard work on the audit. I'm sure she's the last person that would want to delay it, but the shutdown, delayed a lot of projects. So yeah.
Absolutely. She works so hard, and she does a great job, and so knowledgeable. But yeah, she just informed us of that today. We didn't really want to extend, but it makes no sense to have two audits issued and things like that. So I think that'll be fine. I also want to mention, and this is totally unrelated, but the fire chief mentioned it today in our director meeting, and just as a public safety share, it's space heater season.
Yes.
And he said they've already had 2 fires caused by space heaters. And so if you have space heaters, that's fine, but please do not plug them into surge protectors. They need to be directly into the wall. And, if you really want to be safe, just unplug them every time you leave the room, or when you leave for the night or whatever, if you have them at work. So it's just interesting that is such a fire danger, these space heaters. And so just be extra careful.
Yeah, that's really smart. Don't plug them into surge protectors. Plug them directly into the wall. I know I have one in my office here, and so when I leave, I unplug it from the wall, so that way, even if it's turned off, I don't have to worry about it. Because it is one of those things that'll wake you up at 2 a.m. and you think, did I unplug the space heater?
Right? Did I turn that off?
Yeah.
So I know it just seems so minimal, but for him to say they've already had 2 space heater fires, so. And then on December 9th at our meeting, we'll have the Mayor's Arts Awards.
Oh.
Yeah, so those will be given out December 9th at the next City Council meeting.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's always a delightful time, and the recipients are so appreciative, and it's just a way to acknowledge the work that the city does, because that's a huge part of downtown redevelopment, and some of the bright spots in our community are those works of art.
Absolutely, and that committee or that board, they're busy. Like, they meet every month, and the Mayor Arts Awards is kind of a great grand finale for the end of the year for them.
Oh, that's great. So look forward to the Mayor's Arts Awards again going out. A couple of the highlights for the December 9th meeting. So if we pick back up, just the most recent meeting was on November 12th. Probably we could mention, Jan, that the City Council did uphold a decision by City Administration regarding a grievance letter from the City Police Department. It's a sensitive issue because we know that police negotiations are continuing, Jan, and just by law, by NRS, it is not a transparent process, and so we have to respect that. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about maybe how the negotiations are going, or if there's anything we can report on.
Really, there's not a lot to report on as far as the negotiations going. I think we were trying to get through this grievance process, and we're hoping that we could put the two together with negotiations and the grievance together. But we're not. So we're going through that grievance process, and so the city council did uphold the administration's denial of the grievance, and there were two issues with the grievance. One was the timeliness of it, and the second one was that this is something, the way we've paid this particular overtime. We've been paying it this way for many, many, many years. And so there really hasn't been any change in the contract, and maybe that's something we do need to address in negotiations or visit about. And so we're open to that and really encourage discussion. So
I think our city attorney, Dave Stanton, saved the day. I think it's fair to say he really drilled down into what the concerns are, and I think he gave a little to both sides. There's new leadership in the police association, which it's important to acknowledge and to encourage them. You know, they're continuing to explore what the document means, and also to be part of any changes that might need to be made in the future. I think the response that I heard from the community was, is everything okay? I mean, we want to let listeners know that police continue to operate under the existing contract.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They do continue to operate under the existing contract, and so, and they're out there. They're out there for the public. We are very much appreciative of them and everything they do. And they perform duties and a job that I absolutely would not want to do. I don't think they'd probably want my job either, but that's okay. Like, we all need to respect each other's positions, and I absolutely respect their position for sure. And you're right, everybody interprets things differently. And so we just have to work through that. That's
why it's called a negotiation, and so there'll be room for that, and probably in the weeks and hopefully just weeks to come, but hopefully resolution. I know this contract was due in July, Jan, but again, just wanted to reassure listeners that the police are continuing to work and to serve. They're doing amazing things in and around issues that not just crime suppression, but everyday annoyances or things that could turn really tragic, because we have a lot of speeding, a lot of reckless driving. I know both city and county are trying to address that right now. We have people who are just driving out of control and being thoughtless and reckless. And so asking folks to just do their part and slow down. Don't approach people or engage with people who are rage driving. Just try to get all the details and report it, because
absolutely get that license plate number and call dispatch and you're right. We have a police department, a police force that is out there to help the public and help the residents of the city of Elko.
And you'll get to meet them, by the way, at that first Tuesday event, 5 to 7 at Elko Regional Airport next Tuesday, just a week away, Tuesday, December 2nd. It is a great way to spend an evening. You'll get to meet Trigger, the new K9, and you can ask the questions that you want to ask, too. That's what's really nice. Our new police chief, Kyle Ward, is very big on hearing from the community. He said that's the only way he can make changes or reward the people within the department who are doing a good job.
Absolutely. It's very important to Chief Ward to be involved with the public and get feedback from the public. And so this event is a great way to do that. And the last first Tuesday, I believe you were there, and we had a great discussion on, if you have vehicles that are parked beside your house or on the street and you don't think they should belong there. And I think that Lieutenant Daz gave a great explanation of, give the police department a call and give the code enforcement officers a call. And so, it was a great discussion, I think, that went on. And that's what this is for. It's an open forum. Yes, it'll start with Chief Ward having somebody give a presentation or whatever, just to kind of get things going. But it's an open forum for questions and answers, and and if there are changes needed at the police department with their operations or whatever, then Chief Ward will take that information and of course do the best he can with that. And so, public involvement is very important to him. And I think, it's a great direction for the police department to go.
Jan, thanks so much for your time. And again, we're just wishing everyone, a happy holiday, Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone has friends, family, people they can spend time with, enough food to eat, certainly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and actually, recently, I don't have the list right here, but I did get an email from Tim Royal at Fish. And if you have protein, turkeys or hams or things like that you could donate to the food boxes at the at Fish, that would be great. They give out food boxes for the holidays, and there's just a real need there for protein. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thanks, Jan. We've seen some amazing generosity from the community, and if we could just keep that going, that way nobody's hungry any time of the year. That
Absolutely.
would be great.
We need to take care of one another.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Our city manager, Jan Baum. The city meeting is at 4 o'clock this afternoon at City Hall. You can follow along in person or online. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today.